Philadelphia's coming back. Pennsylvania's coming back. America's coming back. And the Philadelphia Phillies are going back to win the World Series. Mr. President, welcome to the home of the Phillies. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, where is he? Well, you know what? I guess that means you have to hear me for 20 minutes.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, that's not good. No, that's not good. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Let's go for it. Here it is.
Get your sign out the way.
I don't want you to lose your faith. Don't lose your faith.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
That's it. Thank you. Joe, this is a good-looking crowd, man. Crowd on a beautiful day. It's good to be back here in Pennsylvania. It is good to be back in Pennsylvania. Good to be back in Philly. I know part of the reason you're fired up is because you just heard from one of the finest vice presidents we will ever see in this country's history. Those glasses too, doesn't it? You know what? I want you to know, when I was still campaigning, right after I selected Joe, we went out and we were doing some events and small town hall meetings, and everywhere we went with Joe, some woman would come by and say, you know, I think Joe's kind of cute. Can you introduce me to Joe? That was true, and I had to inform this woman that Joe's married to a wonderful Joe Biden. In addition to hearing from Joe, I know you've heard from Governor Edwin.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Senator Arlen Specter's in the House. Senator Bob Casey is in the House. State Treasurer Rob McCord is here.
Sorry, I almost dropped that on
you. Is here. Congressman Joe Sestak is here. Congressman Bob Brady is here. Mayor Michael Nutter is in the house. And we've got Allegheny County Executive Dan Honorado is here. I want to thank Pastor Kevin Johnson for the invocation. DJ Diamond Cuts. And give it up for the Roots. Now, I'm glad to see that this crowd is fired up. Are you fired up? Are you ready to go? I've got to make sure you stay fired up. I promise you'll be out here to catch the Phillies and the Eagles. Philly fans and their sports team. Now, Philadelphia, 2 years ago, you defied the conventional wisdom in Washington. They said, no, you can't.
Get your freaking head out my camera.
They said, no, you can't overcome the cynicism of politics. No, you can't overcome the special interests and the big money. No, you can't take on the big challenges of our time. No, you can't elect a skinny guy with a funny name to the presidency of the United States. What did you say?
Yes, we can!
That's what you said.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
But, Philip, I've got this message for you today. I want everybody to understand our victory in that campaign. That wasn't the end of the road. That was just the beginning of the road. That was just the start of the journey. By itself, it does not deliver the change that we need. I know a lot of you thought just because of election night and the inauguration, everybody was having fun and Beyonce was singing and Bono, and so everybody thought, boy, this is it. But that was just the start, because we understood what we were going up against. The only thing that the election did was it gave us the chance to make change happen. It made each of you a shareholder in the mission of rebuilding our country and reclaiming our future. And Philly, I'm back here 2 years later because our job is not yet done and the success of our mission is at stake right now. On November 2nd, I need you as fired up as you were in 2008. Because we've got a lot of work ahead of us. You know, after that last election, it was my hope that we could pull together Democrats and Republicans to confront the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. I hoped that we could get beyond the divisions of red states and blue states.
Put the little girl down!
Because although we are proud to be Democrats,
Here's that little girl with
we are prouder to be Americans. And I know there are plenty of Republicans out there in this country who feel the exact same way. But when we arrived in Washington, the Republicans in Congress, they had a different idea. They knew it would take more than 2 years to climb out of this recession. They knew that by the time of this election, people would still be out of work. They knew people would still be frustrated. And so what they figured was, if we just sat on the sidelines, if Republicans just opposed everything we said we could do, if they rejected every compromise we offered, if they spent all their time attacking Democrats instead of attacking problems, they figured they might be able to do well in the polls. So they spent the last 20 months saying no. Even the policies that they had supported in the past. They said no to middle-class tax cuts. They said no to help for small businesses. They said no to a bipartisan deficit reduction commission that they had once co-sponsored. If I said the sky was blue, they said no. If I said there were fish in the sea, they said no. They figured if Obama fails, then we win. Am I wrong, Joe? That's exactly what they said. Now, they may have thought that playing political games would help them win an election.
Real quick for 5 seconds.
So I'm
not even looking at it, you can just record it.
I took whatever steps were necessary to stop the economic freefall, to stop a second depression, even if those decisions were not popular, even if they were not easy, because you didn't elect me to do what was easy, you elected me to do what was right.
fall
my
down.
finger to the wind and figure out which way the wind was blowing?
He blocking
Spend all my time
everybody.
reading
There's
the
another one.
You sent me there to
There's another
solve
one.
problems.
Yeah.
And 20 months
Moved over
later,
in front of you.
we no longer face the possibility of a second depression.
Woo!
Our economy is growing again.
Woo!
Private sector created jobs 9 months in a row now. There are 3 million Americans who would not be working today if not for the economic plan that Joe and I put into place. That's the truth. Now, what's also the truth is we still got a long way to go. The hole we're climbing out is so deep.
Well,
The Republicans messed up so bad. Left such a big mess that there are still millions of Americans without work. I want everybody to understand this, just in case there's still some undecideds out there. Before I was inaugurated, and before Joe was inaugurated, we had lost 4 million jobs in the 6 months before that. We lost almost 800,000 jobs the month I was sworn in. 600,000 the month after that, 600,000 the month after that. Before any of our economic plans were put into place, we had lost almost 8 million jobs.
wow.
Because of their policies. And that means that it's going to take us a while to get out of this hole. There are still millions of Americans who can barely pay their bills. Millions of Americans who are just barely hanging on. Millions of middle-class families who were struggling even before this crisis hit and are out there treading water. I know. So of course people are frustrated. Of course people are impatient with the pace of change. And believe me,